Hello everyone. In this particular lecture we are going to study about the sedimentation analysis that is used mainly for the fine grained soil. In the previous lectures we actually studied about the sieve analysis that is used for the coarse grained soil. But why sedimentation analysis is used for the fine grained soil? The reason is the presence of cohesion, because cohesion do not let the individual particles of the soil go in separated form and get analyzed directly using the sieve analysis. And that is why the soil sample that is mainly of the fine grained soil, that soil is actually mixed in water, and we actually observe that how the particles of the soil are getting settled down in the water. So actually what we observe the settlement of, or the settling of the solids of the soil. So that is actually the basic work that we do in the sedimentation analysis. And yes, here we assume that solids attained terminal velocity. And what is the terminal velocity? See, terminal velocity is the constant velocity with which the particles will settle down in the downward direction in the water or a fluid when the forces acting on it are balanced. That means here we can say that during the terminal velocity, the net force on the solids that are settling in the fluid is equals to be 0. Now, first of all, let us understand that, let us suppose that this is your solid, and yes, as I draw this diagram, you also have concluded that the another assumption that we are assuming that solids are perfectly spherical. So that is our next assumption for this analysis. Now please understand that if this particular solid is present inside the water, if this solid is present inside the water, then what we can actually say? We can actually say that this particular solid must be acted by some forces, and the first force will be nothing but that will be the force in the downward direction, and that will be equals to be the weight. And whereas as it is actually completely submerged, the next force will be the buoyant force. Whereas we can also see here that as it is moving in the downward direction with a particular velocity, and we have said that that velocity is nothing but that is the terminal velocity that I just mentioned here, we can also see that this particular particle must be having a particular settling velocity as Vs in the downward direction. But as it is moving in the downward direction, you might have studied about the flow of submerged bodies in the fluid mechanics, that it must be actually acted by another resisting force in the opposite direction, and that will be the drag force. Yes, in fluid mechanics we actually also studied about the Stokes law. And what was the Stokes law saying? Stokes law was saying that the net force, that is the drag force acting on a spherical body under the terminal velocity, is nothing but that is equals to be 3 pi mu Vs into d, where d is nothing but that is the diameter of the solid, whereas mu is nothing but that is the dynamic viscosity of the fluid, and what is the remaining part? That is your Vs. Vs is nothing but that is the terminal settling velocity. Terminal settling velocity. Actually, we use S in the subscript just to indicate that it is the settling velocity. Now, for equilibrium, what I can see here? For equilibrium, we can here say that the summation of forces should be equals to be 0. And here we can say that see, W minus B minus your drag force should be equals to be 0. Or sometimes we also write down that as W minus B is equals to be the drag force. Now see, what is the weight? Weight is nothing but that is the volume of the sphere into the gamma of a solid, whereas buoyant force is nothing but that is equals to be the weight of fluid displaced by the body according to the Archimedes principle. And here you can say that this particular body will displace water having the volume equal to the volume of this sphere only. So the weight of the water that is displaced will be nothing but that will be equals to be the volume of water that is displaced, and you know that volume of water displaced will be nothing but that will be equals to be the volume of the sphere only into gamma w to get the value of weight, that is volume into gamma w is equals to be the drag force, and that is nothing but that is 3 pi mu vs into d. Yes, now put the value of volume of the sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Instead of r I am putting the value as a d by 2 cube, and now gamma s minus gamma w. Please note down, I have assumed that the volume of water displaced is nothing but that is equals to be the volume of a sphere only. So volume of sphere is nothing but that is equals to be 4 by 3 pi r cube, and the gamma s minus gamma w is the common part, and on the right hand side it is equals to be 3 pi mu vs into d. Now please understand that here you can also see that left hand side is equals to be 4 by 3 d cube by 8 into gamma w you can take common into g minus 1 is the bracket term, whereas 3 pi mu bs into d. From here what I want the expression for the settling velocity, and the settling velocity can be easily calculated as equals to be g minus 1 into gamma w into d square divided by 18 mu, and this is actually the formula that I am going to use here for the sedimentation analysis. And this is not just used in the sedimentation analysis in the soil, but it is also used for the designing of a sedimentation tank in the water treatment. I hope you remember that it is also used for the sedimentation tank designing. So this is actually a popular formula that you might have studied even in your water supply treatment or supply water treatment, or even you might have used that in the grit chamber, that is in the sewage treatment of the water. So now I am going to use this formula, but how this formula is used? So for that, now let us understand that what we are going to do. We are actually going to take some dry soil sample. And now what I am going to do, I am going to mix this dry soil sample, that is only solids of the soil, into a water tub. And then we are actually going to observe the layers of water. Now how we are going to do that? Let us assume that this is a tub. This is actually a tub in which we have actually filled up this tub with water. So this is the water level. And now what I did, actually I mixed your soil solids in this particular tub. I am assuming here that this soil is having total 3 type of solids. The first one is the biggest one, second one is this, and third one is this. So this is the biggest particle, this is second biggest particle, and this is third biggest particle or the smallest particle. All 3 particles are present equal proportion, so hence all 3 particles are present in 33 and 33 percentage. Now if we add these particular particles in the water tub and we just stir, we actually what do? We stir this water. So in the beginning what will happen, that all the particles that are present in the soil will get mixed in this water tub uniformly. In whatever percentage or proportion those particles were present in the soil, in the same proportion those particles will be present in each and every layer of the water tub also. So let us assume that these are the three different size of particles, and those are actually present in all the layers, in all the layers of the water. So the second one is a bigger one. So this is actually the condition at a time t equals to be 0. And what is time t equals to be 0? It means just after mixing. So what I have assumed, that just after mixing, all the particles are present in the same proportion in which those are present in the soil in all the layers of the water. As soil have all these three in the equal proportion, in each layer all these particles are present in the equal proportion also, but that is for time t equals to be 0. Now let us assume that this jar is kept for the stationary position for a particular time duration, and now what we are going to do, we are going to observe that what will be the concentration of solids in a particular layer. So for that, now let us assume, if I ask you that which of the solid will have the highest settling velocity. In the previous formula, you might have actually observed that Vs, that is your settling velocity, was g minus 1 into gamma w into d square upon 18 mu. From here, you might have actually observed that the settling velocity is directly proportional to d square. That means bigger is the particle, more will be its settling velocity. Yes or no? So if I actually observe a particular layer, let us assume that this particle which is present at the top layer of the tub, this particle, intermediate size of particle which is present in the top layer, actually reached only up to this particular location. So for that, let us assume that this is red color particle, medium size of particle is red color, whereas smaller size of particle is of green color, just for the discrimination. Now if I ask that this medium or intermediate size of solid of the top layer has reached here only, and let us assume that this is the first layer, this is second layer, and this is third layer. So I am saying that this particular particle of the first layer is actually reached here only. And can I ask you that where will be this particle, where will be the biggest particle of the first layer? Obviously its settling velocity is more, so it should be actually present at a layer which is below this layer. Yes or no? So here now I can assume that this bigger particle of the first layer is present here, and yes, bigger particle of the second layer must be here, or maybe someone upward also. But yes, it is 100% sure that if the first layer intermediate particle is present here, then the first layer bigger particle should be below than this. And yes, I can also say that the smallest particle will be present above this. Yes, it is also possible that the second layer smallest particle must be present in this layer only. It is actually possible. Yes or no? Maybe second layer, or maybe a smaller particle that is present in any intermediate layer also, that can also be present in this layer. Yes or no? So this layer is nothing but this is my observed layer. This is my observed layer. And about my observed layer, what I can say that in this observed layer, if the topmost layer particle has reached just now here in some time t. So what I am saying that this is the situation after time t. What I can say that the top layer particle of this size has covered a distance equals to this distance. And what is this distance? This is, let us suppose that this is your small h distance. So what I can say that this red color intermediate particle has traveled small h distance in time t. Yes or no? I can say. And yes, in this observed layer, what I can also say, in this observed layer, any particle that is bigger than this particle will be not present in this layer. It will be definitely present in the layer that is below this layer. Like if this particle, if this blue particle is bigger than the red particle, then this blue particle will be definitely not present in this layer. It should be present only below this. And yes, in this layer, apart from this layer, this particle, there can be some more particles which are of a size smaller than this particle. Yes or no? So I can here say that in observed layer, a particle having settling velocity of h by t will be present, or any particle whose settling velocity is less than h by t will be present, but there will be no particle having a settling velocity higher than this that will be present in this layer. So what I can see here, that in observed layer, a particle having settling velocity less than or equals to be h by t will be present, but no particle of settling velocity greater than h by t. And what is h? That is actually taken by mean. What is the time t? That is also again that is taken by mean. So actually this h by t is depending on mean. This h by t is depending on mean. And on this particular layer, what is the concentration of solid? That concentration of solid will be depending only on the particles that are having a settling velocity less than or equals to be h by t. I hope now you understood that in any layer after some time t, that layer will be consisting only and only solids that are having the settling velocity less than or equals to be h by t, because any particle having settling velocity more than h by t will be present in the lower layer only. So that is actually the basic principle of the sedimentation analysis. How this principle is actually used and how we actually use that particular principle to get the percentage finer for a particular size of solid, we are actually going to understand that in our next lectures. But yes, sedimentation analysis is actually done in two different ways. The first way is the pipette method, whereas the second method is the hydrometer method. So obviously both methods we are going to study in our upcoming lectures, but for now I am ending this lecture here only. We will meet again. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.